By now, everyone should be familiar with the spike protein of the SARS coronavirus 2. This is the protein that is outside of the virus and it's used for recognition of the cell. This is how it looks like, but it's not really that clean for the real one. This is actually how it looks like. So it's full with this kind of fur made out of glycans. So this is how the spike protein is protected. You can see all of these fur things here. It's quite nice. Now, how to 3D print it? The most common way to print furry stuff is, there is a method for doing it, and the most common one is probably the hairy lion. So you are printing practically lines, and then you cut the support material, that in this case it's just a bridging system like this one, and then you melt it with an air blower. Another common one is Einstein. And in this case, you don't have any support material or any bridging, you're just practically printing in air. So hypothetically, it's possible to 3D print those hairy structure. Let's check how to do it if you want to do it on the spike protein. First of all, let's download the spike protein. So in this website, they are collecting all the 3D structure of the coronavirus 2 or the SARS coronavirus 2. And let's download the spike protein. Then let's open it in Shaper 3D, which is a program for the iPad. It's free for academics and it's quite nice. Now that we have it, I want to create my lines. Those lines should be bigger than the protein itself, and they should be a single extrusion. So a single extrusion, I'm using a nozzle of 400 microns, so my single line should be 400 microns width, and I will be using 200 microns as a layer. So those lines should be 400 microns by 200 microns, and they should be longer than the protein itself. Once I have my sketch, I will just extrude it of 200 microns, and this is my single line. Then I select it, I put the center in the center of the circle, which is here, and then I start copying and moving of 5 degrees every single time until I have a full circle. Once I have a full circle, the next thing that I want to do is putting all of those lines in a single folder. So I'm selecting everything and putting in a single folder. Once I have my folder, I can just select my folder, copy, and move all the layers of 1 millimeter. This part is important. You should always move on top or wherever, on the bottom, but it should be always a multiple of 200 microns because those are your layers. If you have something in between, maybe the slicer will not see it and they will not print. So I move it up of 1 millimeter and I also rotate it of 2 degrees. And you keep doing this until you feel your soul going out of your body. Once you are done, you should have something like this with all the lines on the protein. Now we are removing some of the stripes for exposing the surface of the protein, and again this will take ages. Once you are happy, you can see some part of the protein exposed. This one will be not covered with fur, but will be just exposed. Once you're happy, you can save it and then go to Cura for slicing. Slicing will also take ages. The things you need to check if the layer is at 200 microns. I usually increase the temperature for those kind of print of 5 or 10 degrees because we want to have molten plastic outside, and then we slice it. After the slicing, we need to check that all the layers are okay and that you can see the lines connected to the perimeter of the print. Then we just send it to the printer and hope for the best. Well, at least the printer worked. You can see quite a lot of stripes actually and a lot of fur, maybe even too much fur. You can model it by using an air blower, so you just use an air blower for warming up the plastic outside, and then you can squeeze it a little bit inside, exactly like this. It looks a little bit better, but still too much fur for my taste. You cannot really see a protein. So let's go back on the design and remove some random and some random and remove once more and keep removing until you are happy with your design. Now it has way more part exposed, there should be less stripes. Let's give another try. So this is very much trial and error. So this one was the first try, and as you can see the protein it's practically invisible because there are too many of those glycosylated parts. Then second one, and it's already better. You can see the protein outside and the spikes, the fur actually is not that much, so you can already see the protein a little bit better. But naturally the third one is almost perfect. You can see part of the protein exposed, so the underlying protein, you can see the glycosylated part, it's really nice. Also here some empty part on the top is quite nice. I'm pretty satisfied with this one. I hope you enjoyed. The design was not that simple, and also 3D printing was not that easy. Anyway, the design is downloadable and you can find the link down. See you next time.